Hello friends, you are most welcome to your own classes. So in this video we'll discuss about the chapter of a chemistry of class 9, and the name of the chapter is the matter around us pure or not. So in this chapter we will discuss about the portion solution. Okay, the remaining portion I will cover in my next videos. So our chapter is solution. First we will know about that what is a solution. Okay, so the basic definition of a solution is it is a homogeneous mixture of two or more than two substances. Okay, homogeneous mixture. Now guys, what is mixture? We know mixture means if we combine two or more than two substance. if we mix if we mix two or more than two substance, it is a mixture. Now what is this homogeneous? To understand this, let me give an example. Suppose I have water. Okay, here I have a glass and in the glass there is water. Fine. I will add NaCl. NaCl means guys salt, and the chemical compound is actually sodium chloride. Okay, so I have water and I am adding NaCl. So it is a mixture. Now the question is what is homogeneous? Suppose it is my whole mixture, okay? It is my whole mixture. If I am taking some sample, means some mixture of H2O and NaCl from here, okay? Suppose I have taken some mixture from here. I have taken some mixture from here. Everywhere the mixtures I have taken, all the properties are same. Means this is my solution, and all over the solution means through the all over the solution, and the properties means the physical property, means the chemical properties, everything are same, then it is my homogeneous or uniform. Okay, so homogeneous mixture of two or more than two substances are called as a solution. Now we learn about two terms. First one is solute, and the second one is our solvent. So guys, what is the solute and solvent? First let me take the same example. Suppose I have a glass which is filled with water. Okay, H2O, and I am adding some salt. Means NaCl means our sodium chloride. Okay, so basically NaCl is in the amount of NaCl is less, right? Suppose this is my whole solution, then H2O is in the maximum quantity. The amount of H2O means water is maximum, and the amount of NaCl or sodium chloride is minimum as compared to H2O, right? So basically when I am adding this NaCl means it is dissolving. Okay, it is mixing with the water molecules. Suppose it is my solution. Okay, let me draw it again. Here first there are H2O means water, and I am adding NaCl. Then what will happen? Suppose this is my water particles and it is my NaCl particle, right? So NaCl particles will combine with mix with dissolve within the H2O particles, right? So the here in this example NaCl is my solute and H2O is my solvent. Means the matter or the substance which is dissolved which is dissolved is called our solute, and it is in the lesser amount, it is in the lesser quantity. Okay, and the substance which dissolves the another substance is called our solvent. It is in maximum quantity. So in this example NaCl is our solute and H2 is our solvent. I think it is clear. So we have completed this solute part which is dissolved, and we have also completed the solvent part, and it is known as the component of solution that dissolves the other component within it is called a solvent. Okay, and generally it is in a large amount, right? So next, moving to this portion, now we'll learn about the properties of solution. Okay, the first property, it is homogeneous mixture. we have discussed what is homogeneous. Suppose I have taken some sample from here and here, from everywhere, anywhere from the solution, you can take the sample and the properties. It may be physical property like the color, taste, etc. It may be chemical. It may be chemical property like its structure, like how what are the minerals present in it. Everything is uniform. Everything is same in in all the solution. Okay, so this is my uniform or homogeneous solution. It is my first point, and my second point is particles are extremely small. Now guys, remember one thing. It is the basic criteria of a solution, and the size of the particles of the solution are very extremely small. If the particle would not be small, then it will not form a solution. It will form a suspension or a colloid. It is also one type of mixture. If we talk about suspension and colloid, also one type of mixture, but this is not solution. So what makes the difference? The difference makes by the size of the particles. Now just understand this thing with example. Suppose this is my water, okay, and I have added NaCl. Then NaCl is dissolved within water to make the solution. Now the question is, why this NaCl dissolves in the water? If I would use some sand, okay, some mud, if I would use some sand or mud, then it will not dissolve. So what is the difference between two them? The difference is about the size. If the size of the particles are very small, then they can mix properly. Okay, they can come between another particles. It is the facility of being small size because it forms a solution. I think you have understand this. Third, the extremely small particles cannot scatter the light. So the path of the light is not visible in the solution. Now what I said? I said, suppose I have a solution here, and it is the particles of the solution. Okay. Now if the beam of light comes within it, say I have a very big particle, then what will happen? And the light will be scattered, it will be deflected, by its original path. Suppose it used to go there, but it will deflect like that to scatter. So due to this scattering, the path of this light, of this deflected light, would be visible if the size of the particle, of this particle which is used to scatter, used to be big. But this is not in solution. Why? Because in solution the particles are present are extremely small, so they cannot scatter the beam of light. So the path of this light is not visible in the solution. Okay. The fourth point is, it is stable. Now what does it mean? It means, suppose I have taken a solution here. Okay. Say for example, it is the solution of H2O plus NaCl, means salt and water. Okay. If I keep the solution for a time, automatically the particles of NaCl will not go down. Right. Here are two particles present. One is the particles of H2O and another is the particles of NaCl. If I keep this solution here for a long time, the particles of NaCl will not go down, will not settle down. Why? Because it is a stable solution. If it used to be a heterogeneous mixture like a suspension or a colloid, then when we learn about the properties of suspension or colloid, we will see that if I keep them, the particles will settle down, means the particle will go downward. So it is not possible in the case of solution because it is stable, right? Actually the particles are dissolved very well, so the an inter bond comes here in the solution. The particles dissolve very well, so a inter bond, a inter attraction force generates. So it does not settle down, it does not go down to the solution, right? Now we learn about the term saturated. Now we learn about the term saturated solution. What is this? If the solution has maximum amount of solute, okay, no more solute can be added to it. It is called saturated solution. The amount of solute in the in the saturated solution called its solubility. What is this? Suppose I have taken the example of here, H2O and NaCl. Say for example, I have 1 kg of water. Okay, 1 kg of water by mass. I am telling by mass, and the maximum amount of NaCl I can add in this water is say 5 gram. So beyond 5 gram I cannot add more than this. It is the maximum limit of NaCl. It is the maximum limit of solute that I can add to the water. Now if I add 5 if I add 5 grams if I add 5 gram of NaCl, means the maximum limit of solute, then I can call this solution as my saturated solution. And this amount of solute means the amount of NaCl, maximum limit of NaCl means 5 gram, is known as my solubility. Right? Here is the definition. Don't worry, I'll give you the PDF in my description box. I'll also share some links of my YouTube videos, like the chemistry matter. I have discussed it earlier, and the physics, the force laws of motion. I have made 2 videos. I'll keep the description. So okay, and you can download the notes of these lessons also. I provide all the links in my description box. So now come to the concentration of solution. So before we find the concentration of any solution, first we have to know what is the concentration. Okay, so let me read the definition. No, actually it is not definition. I'm just trying to make you understand. Okay, amount of solute present in the given amount of solution or solvent in mass or volume. Okay, so what is concentration? Let me repeat. Amount of solute which is present in the given amount of solution or solvent in mass or in volume. Okay, now let me explain it. Suppose I have this example of H2 and NaCl, right? So we all know which is our solute and which is our solvent. So actually H2 is our solvent here and NaCl is our solute, because it is the amount of NaCl is less than H2O. Say I have here the mass of H2O, the mass of water is 1 kg, for example, and I have the mass of NaCl, means sodium chloride, is 1 gram. Okay, so this is the mass of solute and this is the mass of solvent. We can easily determine the concentration through the help of this mass values. Okay, this mass of solute and solvent we can easily determine, we can easily find the value of concentration. Okay, so concentration means how much of solute is added to a particular amount of solution or solvent. Okay, so I can represent this concentration by 2 methods or 2 processes. Okay, first the mass by mass. Where is it? The first process is mass by mass, and the second process is mass by volume percentage. Okay, so what is mass by mass? It is mass of solute by mass of solution into 100. Why 100? Because I am finding the percentage, so I have to multiply in 100. So mass of the solute means mass of the substance which is in less amount, divided by mass of the solvent. Sorry, divided by mass of the solution, means the mass of whole solution. Whole solution means mass of solute plus solvent. Okay. And the second thing is the mass by volume percentage. Here I can find the concentration by mass of solute by mass of solution. Okay. Actually it is a mistake here, as I am telling now mass by volume, so it will be mass of solute by volume of solution into 100. So here I will solve a problem, okay, based on this. um, here I have the solution. I have added, or I have dissolved 40 gram of NaCl is added in 320 gram of water. So we can easily say that water is my solvent and NaCl is my solute. Why? Because I have dissolved NaCl, I have added NaCl in water, and NaCl quantity is less. It is 40 gram. It is lesser than amount of water. Okay, so it is my solute, it is my solvent. Here I have written the solute mass, means the mass of solute in the bracket NaCl is 40 gram, mass of solvent or water is 320 gram. Okay, I have I have asked to find the concentration of this solution. Okay, so here I am finding it. I have written total mass of solution, okay, equal to mass of solute plus mass of solvent. We all know this, that the solution is made up of two things. One is solute, which is in less amount. Another is my solvent, which is in more amount. Okay, so the total mass will be the summation of the mass of solute and the mass of solvent, right? So the mass of solute in this problem we know it is 40 gram, and mass of solvent in this problem we know 320 gram. So the total mass of the solution came out 360 gram. Okay, now I have to find mass percentage of solution. I have written here mass of solute by mass of solution into 100. According to the previous formula to find concentration, mass of solute by mass of solution into 100. So mass of solute I have written 40 gram, mass of solution I have written 360 gram. As I found it here into 100. Why 100? Because I am trying to find the concentration in percentage. Okay, so the answer after calculation came 11.1%. Now the question is that from where you can study this. So let me tell you, the best book is obviously NCERT book. You can also find the chemistry, physics like this in Eschat books. Okay, so I have basically made the notes on the basis of NCERT. If you have something extra, you don't understand this, then please let me know in the comment section. I will definitely help you. um, and I'll also share my previous videos of physics, chemistry. Okay, you can also watch this and share this with all of your friends. Okay, and guys, one more important thing, if you want to prepare for JEE Mains or NEET with the subject of physics, then you can strengthen your preparation uh, by watching the amazing physics lectures of our Sandeep sir and Aditi ma'am. I am sharing the link of their channel in my description box. So guys, if you think it was really beneficial for you, so please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel, and I will be uploading soon the next portion of this chapter, that is the portion of suspension, colloid and everything. Okay, so guys, bye, take care.